Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. Liverpool beat Southampton by 2-0. Hope you enjoyed the music. If you want to get voting in the player rating show, all you need to do when the poll opens, and it will be opening right now for Alisson Becker, is type in !vote, put a space in and then a number out of or including 10. To vote, and that will be tallied, and you will know your vote has been tallied because there'll be a little bot in the chat that will tell you. So we've opened the vote for Alisson Becker. I thought he was absolutely superb. He was given, was it Sky we watched that on there? It was Sky, wasn't it? He was given man of the match there. I mean, 6 saves, 3 of which were absolutely huge, weren't they? He nearly fucked it all up, nearly, when it was 1-0 and played the ball just casually to Che Adams from a back pass from Thiago, trying to play it out to the left-hand side, but he didn't. He made the save from Che Adams, rather pathetic P-roller of a shot, but the big saves that he made, I mean, coming out, winning that ball just before we go 1-0 up as well, that was worth 3 points actually, wasn't it? And that's the type of performance. I think that Alisson over the last 6 weeks has really stepped up his game and is starting to make those saves that maybe you don't expect goalkeepers to make. And I think that was the difference between maybe 3 months ago or whatever. I think he was just making saves that you'd expect goalkeepers to make, and now he's making saves that you don't expect goalkeepers to make. Just had a super chat from Robbie Brown. Love to see Thiago score. Love you, Pajak. Up the Reds, Robbie. Thank you so much for that, mate. Massively appreciated. Right, we're going to end the poll in 5 seconds for Alisson Becker. So if you want to vote, now is the time. You've completely run out of time. He's been given a 10 out of 10. I can't disagree, to be honest with you. I mean, as I say, massive saves there from Alisson Becker. We don't win that game without him. In fact, we might lose that game because I think 3 of which were absolutely superb. Trent Alexander-Arnold is the next person that we've opened the vote up for. We will open the vote up for, and he is live now. He had a lot to the ball, didn't he? I think I looked at his average position. It was really high over the halfway line. I mean, there was a ridiculous amount of crosses. I think there was something like 11 crosses from him, but there was 5 key passes from Trent Alexander-Arnold tonight. And again, he looks like he is playing with a bit of fire in his belly, isn't he? And what we're seeing from him is this willingness not only to get forward. I think he had a little bit of a tough time with Redmen at times, but what I really liked to see was the fact that Fabinho and Thiago were over there helping him out. So we got beaten once or twice going towards the goal line. But most of the time he was trying to turn him back inside, and he actually had the support from the midfielders, and that's one of the things that I liked from that side of the pitch today, is too often they've been able, opposition players have been able to cut back inside and then maybe get a shot off and stuff like that, whereas I think the midfield, Fabinho, Thiago did a really good job there of making sure that when he did cut inside, there was no options for him. But I thought he had a good game all told, to be honest with you. So we're going to end the poll for Trent Alexander-Arnold now. And Trent Alexander-Arnold has got an 8 out of 10, which I think is absolutely fair, to be honest. I had it down as a 7-8. Something like that. So yeah, we'll open up the vote next for Nat Phillips. And again, this is just every time I watch him, I think to myself, he's just a Premier League centre-back. He really is. He's improving each and every game, and he wasn't really put under too much stress and strain tonight. I mean, I've got his aerial duels. He wins 7 of 7 aerial duels tonight. And the only time he was under that pressure, he was in a bit of a foot race, wasn't he, towards the end? I think it might have been 1-0, and Alisson Becker, one of those big saves he makes, comes flying out of his penalty area and saves his centre-half. And he did that for both centre-halves tonight. But I think all told, you know, Alisson Becker did save him there, but generally speaking, Nat Phillips is looking every bit of Premier League centre-half. Mitchell Costello, thank you so much for the super chat, mate. Front three needs Trent to be right behind them in a free roaming role because he just puts the ball where he wants it. Class up the Reds. Thank you so much for the super chat, mate. That's absolutely brilliant. We'll end the poll now for Nat Phillips. I'd be very surprised if he didn't get higher than an 8. He gets a 9 out of 10. I like that. Reece Williams, been a while since he's played football for us as Reece. First time since March, I believe, and he comes back in, and all told, I think he had a pretty good game. I think, you know, he was probably maybe taking the plaudits and stuff like that because he had a little bit more. He wins his aerial duels, but Reece Williams wins both of his aerial duels. Reece Williams wins both of his ground duels. That one time he was sort of caught a little bit flat-footed because of his body positions. The ball comes in. Again, Alisson comes out, makes a big save at the striker's feet. But all told, I think Reece did really well. I was really impressed with that from him, and maybe it's because I didn't notice him that I'm actually more impressed, because it means his positioning's good, it means his teammates are helping out, which is exactly what you need when you've got a young lad in the centre of the park. So yeah, really good there, as I say. A couple of clearances as well to add to those ground duels and aerial duels. But yeah, really good for him. So we'll end the poll now for Reece Williams, a 7 out of 10. I think that's about right. I think that's about right. We'll open up the poll next for Andy Robertson. If you do want to vote, then you just underneath me there, it tells you how to vote. Exclamation mark vote, space, number out of 10, press that enter key in the chat. Your vote will be tallied. All the votes are counted up together. You're not going to be charged anything. You don't need to ask the bill payer's permission. They're going to be tallied regardless because it's free to enter. It's absolutely free. So Andy Robertson, full of energy today, wasn't he? I mean, first half especially, he really bombed forwards. And I really thought to myself, this is what he looks like when he's had a little bit of rest. And it's a shame that maybe Costas isn't up to sort of speed and stuff like that, because I think we could have had more out of Andy Robertson for playing him less this season. Because again, first half, he was just up and down, Mr. Reliable. Defensively, there's never really any issues with Andy Robertson's side of the pitch, is there? You know, we talk about what Trent brings going forwards and stuff, but we do have those frailties behind. Robertson is slightly more the other way. He's a much better defender. Going forwards, I think he puts 5 crosses in. I don't think we get a completed cross from it. But I really like that second half. I think he sort of stayed back a little bit more, and the team maybe became a little bit more disjointed. These lads maybe not wanting to push on and press so much, and these lads wanting to put on, and that made it easier for the teams to get out, Southampton to get out and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really pleased with Robbo again. Good standard performance for me, somewhere probably between probably a 7-ish, maybe an 8. But he does get, what does it say? A 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for Andy Robertson. Nice. Okay. Moving into the centre of the park then, Fabinho. It was a classic Fabinho sort of performance, really, wasn't it? I mean, if you think about that first goal, and obviously Mane whips a sort of blind ball into Mo Salah. The defender, I think it's Vestergaard, maybe clears it, and Fabinho's there, 10 yards on the edge of the penalty area, mops it up, plays it out wide to Mo Salah, pass later. It's in the back of the net, and that's what Fabinho does at his absolute best. He pins himself here, everyone else is in front of him, and they can't get the ball out. I mean, he wins so many tackles, helps out in defence, a couple of clearances there for Fabinho as well, a couple of interceptions. We know he wins his ground duels. So yeah, really good performance from him again. I personally go somewhere around an 8 out of 10. We'll end the poll now for Fabinho, and he does indeed get an 8 out of 10. All right, we're in tune tonight. So we'll open up the poll next for Thiago Alcantara, the fella who gets his first goal in a red shirt, finally. And what was it? It was a pass into the back of the net. Classic Thiago, really, wasn't it? But I mean, he takes his goal really well. really, really well, and he uses the defender, and he knows that the goalkeeper's not going to be able to get there. He uses the defender, bends the ball, gets a little bit of a deflection. Still not sure the keeper's going to make it. He looks happy. Spoke really well, actually, in the interview after the game. I was quite impressed with that. It's not something I've seen really a lot of, is Thiago sitting and talking to somebody, but it was really nice to sort of hear him talk and talk about his season and stuff like that. But again, when he had the ball... Sorry, Si, did you say you have to start the vote again, mate? Yeah, so we're just starting the Thiago vote again. So if you have voted for Thiago, please just vote again. We're having a little bit of an issue with the poll. So yeah, Thiago then. I think what he did with the ball, I was really impressed with. There's a couple of times he makes these beautiful turns and stuff like that and gets himself in good positions. But he worked really hard to try and win the ball back today as well. And I think that's something that he's kind of added to his game over the course of this season in a Liverpool shirt anyway. And yeah, so, but his best work is always with the ball at his feet, you know, spraying the ball wide, a little outside of the boot pass, I think it was, maybe to Andy Robertson, something like that, a little lofted pass over there as well. He just spreads the ball really well. I mean, he had that one where he tried to play it to Trent and overhits it and stuff like that, but gets that goal. Hopefully he can kick on a little bit from here in the last few games. And yeah, okay, I'm all right with that. I think it was probably an 8 out of 10 performance from Thiago, but we'll end the vote now and we'll see what you guys give. Oh, we give him a 9. Okay, fair enough. A little bit higher than I thought, but okay. Gini Wijnaldum, no, we'll open up the poll next for Gini Wijnaldum. For me, definitely the quietest sort of Liverpool player, and I find it so difficult judging Gini Wijnaldum when I watch him on the telly, because I'm never really as impressed with him as when I'm in the ground. And I think it must be to do with, you know, not being able to see what he does and following the ball when the director, you know, changes the camera angles and stuff like that. But he wasn't really involved. I mean, he only wins 1 of 4 ground duels. He gets 1 clearance, 1 shot off target. And that was the only real moment of the game where I really sort of noticed him when he gets that shot off. He sort of came alive for that minute or so. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty average performance from Gini there. And personally, I'm probably saying somewhere around about a 6 out of 10. But we'll end the poll now and we'll see what you guys think as well on Gini Wijnaldum. 7 out of 10, okay, fair enough. Obviously seen a little bit more and remember a little bit more than I do there. So we'll open up the poll next for the fella who gets the assist for the first goal. It's Mohamed Salah. I think he should have had probably at least 2 goals tonight. I think he overworks the first one really badly, cuts inside, he then defenders get in the way and all that type of stuff. There's another one, isn't there, where he pulls the ball down, he probably wants to take a little bit early, overworks it. There's a few times where you're like, pass the ball, Mo, just pass the ball, Mo, please, pass the ball, man. But he works so hard, and you know he was annoyed when he got taken off for Ox and stuff like that. But yeah, it was an okay performance there from Mo, and again, he gets an assist for first time he's hooked up with Sadio Mane in the Premier League this season, assists to Mane's goal. And yeah, I'll be interested to see what you guys think, because I probably have Mo as a 7 if I'm honest, but then he gets an assist, so maybe I'd up that to an 8. Yeah, I'll probably up that to an 8, but it is an 8, okay, fair enough. I wonder if everybody else sort of thought it through like me, who knows. Sadio Mane then, Sadio Mane gets a goal, finally, longest goals out at Anfield, I believe. Is it 9 games at Anfield without a goal for Sadio Mane? We obviously don't have the commentary on, so we don't hear them and stuff like that, but I think it's something like that. But a lovely little header down, does what a striker does, heads the ball into the ground, doesn't he? I've heard that said 1,000 times. Maybe it applies here. But he worked really hard to get into that space, didn't he? And other than that, I think he worked really hard all game. I think, you know, he contests 14 ground duels, winning 8 of them, which says to me that he's done a lot of pressing there, but he is just a little bit frustrating at times this season, and doesn't quite look like the same sort of enigmatic footballer that we've seen. And I don't know whether that's tiredness or whether he's having a little bit of a struggle or whatever. I think he's had a really tough season this year, and I think, much like me, I think some of these lads are going, fucking hell, I wish this season was over. And if there's one lad on this football field tonight that probably wishes this season was over, I think Sadio Mane might be one of them. We're going to end the poll there then, and let's see what Sadio Mane gets. That's an 8. I think that's about right. I think he did work really, really hard. From the front 3, I probably had Jota down as probably slightly lower mark than the two of these. I probably had him down as a 7. We're opening up the poll for him now. I mean, there was that lovely sort of move, I would say, or play, even if you want to talk a bit more American style, where he gets that ball from Sadio Mane's back heel, doesn't he? And he sort of goes past 3 players and cuts inside and doesn't quite get the shot off that he wanted to get off. That deserved the goal. Just the way he sort of beat 3 men with 2 touches. That was it for me. There wasn't too much more. I mean, he worked hard trying to sort of, you know, win the ball back a lot of the time, but you know, he lost the ball a lot tonight, and because of that, I sort of checked the stats, and let me just get this right here. 48 touches and 16 loss of possession. Now, that's 1 less than Sadio Mane. It's about 5 more than Mo Salah, because I wanted to compare the 3 players side by side. And you'd always expect the forward players to lose the ball more, because the area of the field, it's more congested. It's just a little bit tougher. They're getting pressured a lot more than maybe the midfielders, certainly the defenders are. So you do expect them. But like, yeah, it's like a 1 in 3 almost touch. He sort of loses the ball, and it felt a little bit like that from Jota. There was times where I thought, oh yeah, he's on it here, and there was times where I thought, oh, he's having a little bit of a struggle here. But again, you know, all told, I'm pretty pleased with Jota. I mean, it's been a stellar season from him so far. We'll end the poll there then. I'd like to see what you guys have thought, or you've agreed with me. 7 out of 10. Bobby Firmino. I mean, I'm not going to open the poll up for Bobby Firmino, for Ox, or for Kurt Jones, but let me just leave you with this. Bobby Firmino had 5 touches and got 1 assist. I mean, if that's not a 10 out of 10 performance, I don't know what is, to be honest with you. 1 key pass, which ended up in an assist. 4 accurate passes. He only had 5 touches. Like, you know what I mean? That's a 10 out of 10 performance from Bobby. No, but I'll give him a 7. Ox and Kurt Jones, I'm not even sure Kurt touched the ball, so I can't remember that one. So yeah, that has been the player ratings. I will go back to Mitchell Costello's super chat though. Front 3 needs Trent to be right behind them in a free roaming role, because he just puts the ball where he wants. I just can't imagine it, you know. I think, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold right now in Klopp's system is the perfect right back for what he wants going forwards. I just can't see that we're going to get somebody who's going to be able to replace what Trent does in the right back position, so that we can move him into the midfield. It's just, I just don't think it's going to happen under Jurgen, to be honest, unless Nico's progression just snowballs and he becomes like Trent Alexander-Arnold. I don't think we're ever going to see Trent Alexander-Arnold in a 10. I think if he does transition first, it'll be maybe into one of the 8s and stuff like that. But I'm not even certain that happens, to be honest with you. But thank you so much for the super chat. That has been the play ratings. I've had a belt tonight. The game wasn't particularly fun to watch, but anyone who will watched the watch along will know how much fun I've had just laughing pretty much for about 60 odd minutes there. It was absolutely brilliant. So thank you to everyone for making my night. Thank you for watching the play ratings. I'll be back with Paul Machin in a moment for the instant match reaction. So stick around. If you just want to stay in the chat here, you'll automatically be ported over there. And we're going to check the results of Redmen picks as well. Hopefully, I've won a share of £1,000. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.
Hey guys, what's happening? We have got a genuinely amazing prize for you. It is this team signed Liverpool Champions shirt. It comes with a certificate of authenticity, and to be in with a chance of winning, all you have to do is sign up on the redmentv.com as a club legend, or upgrade your existing subscription from club captain up to there as well. Not only are you entered into the prize draw for that, we've also got amazing, incredible, insightful, upbeat, brilliant documentaries, interviews, features, and a whole lot more streaming right there on an exclusive Liverpool streaming platform. It's a bit like Netflix for Liverpool fans, so go over there, get involved, and fill in some wonderful gaps in your life between Liverpool matches with some wonderful Liverpool content, and also enter into that competition to win that incredible signed shirt as well. See you there.